Hello and welcome to Manga96, and today we're going to talk about is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon. Today's topic will be the only 3 members of the Miyachi familia, which consists of a shy prophet whose prophecies nobody believes in except a certain white-haired boy, a no-nonsense girl who despite not believing in prophecies does trust the prophet girl and her judgment, and lastly, the girl that is the cause that the Miyachi familia currently only has 3 members and a huge debt. I'm of course talking about Cassandra, Daphne and Naaza. But before we start, here's the spoiler warning, as will be spoiled a lot of things in this video, so if you don't want to be spoiled, I would highly recommend that you're going to read the light novel, as it is an enjoyable read. For everyone else, let's start with who Cassandra is. Cassandra Ilion is a member of the Miyachi familia and a former member of the Apollo familia. Cassandra has a timid personality which leads her to act and move nervously. Since both were forcibly recruited into the Apollo familia, she became friends with Daphne, who she is often seen with and taken care of. Cassandra displays a submissive attitude and tends to obey Daphne's orders even if she disagrees. However, she still stands firm on certain decisions, refusing to give in no matter what her friends' insistence. She possesses an olive air and a childlike innocence that is denoted in her eyes. According to it, she is a childish girl with candid touches. After losing her favorite pillow, she threw a big tantrum and returned to her old familia's headquarters despite Daphne's complaints and her proposal to just buy another one, arguing that she couldn't sleep without it. Similarly, she made Daphne accompany her to Riviera in order to get a special dish. She is shown to be a quite loyal dependent. Despite the circumstances behind her union and considering her familia's defeat an imminent event, Cassandra sought to help the Apollo familia, repeatedly asking Hiatokonis to take shelter in a safe place and restricting Bell long enough for her captain to chant his magic. She also has the ability to see visions, where no one ever believes her despite her attempts to convince them. Nonetheless, she herself has a blind faith in her prophecies, having sheltered a couple of monsters once at the instruction of her vision. Being the only one so far, Cassandra is shown to be grateful to Bell for believing in her visions and has a crush on him. Like most people, she dislikes monsters, though she is still unable to treat them normally. Fiercely refusing to hug Arles, her aberration seems to have lightened up after being saved by her and Helga. Prior to joining the Apollo familia, Cassandra was a sheltered girl who received a high-class education. At some point, Apollo took interest in her and pursued her until she finally joined his familia. As for her abilities, she possesses the quality of having prophetic dreams. Despite having this ability, she can't immediately interpret her visions because the dreams are never shown clearly but rather through symbolism, be it figurative images or a poem, which Cassandra needs to decipher in order to be able to figure out what they mean. While it has sad inconvenience, her dreams serve as a warning for important events that will occur within a period which can vary from a few days to several weeks, having sometimes allowed her to survive life and death situations. Though not a professional archer, Cassandra has also shown proficiency with a bow, as she can still hit 70% of her targets. As for some magic that she possesses, Soullight is a rare magic that can heal wounds and restore stamina. It is a wide area healing spell that is able to increase its effect area based on the amount of mind Cassandra uses. Its healing power is greater than ordinary potions. Cure Ephilates cures status elements. Cassandra mistakenly believes that it only cures poison and doesn't realize it can also remove curses. Healing magic that can cure poison is considered rare. And lastly, 5-Dimension Troya is a mysterious skill Cassandra possesses. It cannot be decoded, its name doesn't appear in hieroglyphs, and its current name is what Miyake interpreted it to be. Moving on to Daphne. Daphne Lauros is a member of the Miyachi familia and a former executive member of the Apollo familia. She is a calm and collected person despite her looks. Direct and cutting when it comes to speaking, she is unwilling to waste time on unnecessary talk, so she tends to get to the point and finish her conversations quickly. She is quite frank and is not afraid to be honest even if it can be painful. She is also a very serious and no-nonsense person. Despite her demeanor, she can be empathetic at times, as she's shown some pity for Belle, who had caught the attention of her obsessive god. She's a responsible girl with a strong sense of duty, which makes her a loyal dependent who actively sought to capture Bell and defeat him in the war game despite her distaste for Apollo and his actions. Having sympathized with her due to both having been forcibly recruited into the Apollo Familia, Daphne became friends with Cassandra. She cares for Cassandra and constantly looks after her, although she doesn't believe her visions and dismisses them as dreams. She seems to dislike her shy attitude and occasionally hits her to shut her up. Nevertheless, Daphne has a firm trust in her friend. She ultimately put her faith in Cassandra to save the group from the collapse of the 25th floor by taking the option she suggested based on her dream, declaring that despite not believing her visions, she trusts her. Likewise, she somewhat indulged at times with her, such as when she went with Cassandra to Riviera so she could get a special dish. She also has mixed feelings for Apollo due to him taking care of her despite forcing her into his familia, saying that she was thankful but hated him even more for that. As for her abilities, during her time in the Apollo Familia as an executive, Daphne was forced on several occasions to lead the other members of the Familia, gaining some skills as a commander. Roamer protection magic that raises Daphne's endurance and largely raises her agility. Its effectiveness depends on her magic state. She doesn't usually use it since it reminds her of Apollo. As for some of her skills, Elia's passion slightly raises Daphne's agility. If she's being chased, it allows her to temporarily obtain the developing ability Escape. Laura's Wrath heavily increases Daphne's endurance if she is exhausted or dying. She is able to select where to activate it and it modifies her skin. Moving on to Naaza. Naaza Erisuis is a doctor and the captain of the Miachi Familia. She has a perpetual sleepy voice and expression. She's an intelligent person capable of exploiting other people's weaknesses to her advantage and create a novel high-quality potion invited even by Dian Set himself. She feels guilty about the enormous debt that her prosthetics placed on Miachi and the consequent abandonment of the rest of the Familia members that ended up turning them into a poor Familia. Motivated by her guilt, she developed a firm determination to get them out of the trouble they were in, no matter what the methods she had to resort to. She would manipulate people, such as when she used to pressure Bell and take advantage of the boy's innocent nature to convince him to buy her more higher-priced products, resorting to making him feel guilty or sweet-talk to achieve it. Likewise, she was a fraudulent person, diluting the potions she sold him to get the most out of her products. After being discovered and held by Bell, Naaza developed a deep feeling of gratitude and told him that she would help him whenever he needed it, such as when she helped him escape from Hiatonics. She is shown to have romantic feelings for Miachi since he sacrificed all of his familia's money to obtain her prosthetic. Because of this, she is bothered by how kind and attentive he is to women as well as his looks he is jealous from them because of his attractiveness and gentleness. She is normally indifferent but can get fiercely jealous if it concerns Miachi. She also dislikes Dian Set and has a great grudge for his contemptuous attitude towards her and Miachi. This feeling is not limited to him but also extends to the rest of his familia, as she has demonstrated with Armit. She is also very territorial about her regular customers, at least when she alternates is to leave them to Dian Set's familia. Seeing that Bell was unable to remove a cursed helmet, she quickly rejected Armit's offer to help him and took him to treat Bell herself. On another occasion, she suggested the young adventurer that he change the treatment Armin was giving him for her own when his left arm was still recovering. Product of the grotesque way in which she lost her arm, Naaza possesses an intense fear towards monsters that make her tremble uncontrollably every time she's in front of one, rendering her unable to see them and less face them directly. However, she is still capable of attacking them if she is far enough away from them. Aside from that, she also despises high-class adventure due to their conceit and brutal attitude. As for her past, 7 years ago, Naaza was already living in Orario. She reached level 2 6 years after joining the Miachi Familia. Sometimes after becoming level 2, she was almost killed in the dungeon where her arm and legs were eaten by monsters. Although her other limbs were able to recover, her right arm was completely lost. Naaza also acquired a severe trauma towards monsters due to her experience. As for her abilities, She has proven to be a skilled archer with pinpoint accuracy and unmatched aim. On one occasion, she managed to hit the eye of a moving Bloodsaurus which was a great distance from her. When assisting Belle against the Apollo Familia, she was able to shoot Hiatonis despite being a distance from which a normal person would not have been able to even see a silhouette, missing only because her target was able to see her arrow and react in time to dodge. Ergitolam is a silver arm made by Armid, who makes the best quality prosthetics in Orario, in which only a few people possess it. It is polished like a blade and was made to look like an arm that has gems in the joints that allow one to see through. It's difficult to even get a loan for one if the person is not a second-tier adventurer or higher, but Naaza was still able to get it after Miech appelled. The average person normally gets a cheaper one from DSS Familia or the Guild. With this, I covered everything that I wanted to cover on Cassandra, Daphne and Naaza. And that will be all for this video. If you like this video, leave a like, leave your thoughts in the comments below, or subscribe to the channel for more manga reviews and One Piece content. And until next time, take care.